So now you're telling me that a group or a pod of dolphins are kidnapping grown ass men and making them go underwater to build their underwater cities and structures? At this point, I'm not even surprised. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in Lee County, Florida, yes, Florida, a grown ass man was found on the beach by authorities soaking wet, dehydrated, and confused, is what the statement says. But the weird part was he was drawing these detailed diagrams in the sand when the authorities showed up. But that's not even the best part of the story. He claims that when he was out swimming, a pod of dolphins came and kidnapped him. Kidnapped him. But they didn't kidnap him for like a ransom or anything. No, they kidnapped him and they took him 40 feet underwater to force him to build their underwater city. Now, if you're anything like me, I'm sure your first thought is, well, how did he breathe? And here's the answer. He claims in the statement that there was a head dolphin, an alpha dolphin, and this dolphin's name was Gerald. And Gerald was communicating to him through clicks and telekinesis, and also helping him breathe underwater. Gerald was helping him breathe underwater by a bubble-like system. Gerald sounds pretty cool. I bet you thought this story couldn't get any crazier. I've got your crazy. He claims he was down there for 3 days helping them build their underwater city. 3 days! And after those 3 days were up, he claims that they told him that they were satisfied with his work, so they took him back to the surface. But they told him, we'll be back. We'll be back for you for phase 2. I'm sure if you're still here watching the video, you're like, oh, he was most likely on or drunk. And that was what I thought. But when he got to the hospital and they ran all the tests, this is what's absolutely nuts. Yes, he was dehydrated, but there were no alcohol in his system, and there were no head contusions or blunt forces to the head or any signs of any kind of mental illnesses. They did find marine particles and seawater in his lungs that indicated that he had been at a deep underwater level for a long time without any lung damage. Now, if you're wondering, why him? Why did they choose him? It's because, and he says this in his statement, they chose him because he has a master's degree in aerospace engineering and is extremely knowledgeable in underwater technology. And that's the reason Gerald chose him. And I'm not going to lie, I believe him. I've always heard that it's illegal to communicate with dolphins, but what on earth do you call it when they kidnap you to go build their underwater cities?